What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick overview of what could possibly be tomorrow's blog post update. So, if you guys haven't already subscribed to Tana, his channel, as well as the Marvel Strike Force Discord, I mean, it's amazing to always be on top of these data mines because we can get these updates pretty much in real time. As you can see, time recording, we just got this update from Tana here, and pretty much a sneak peek of what's to come, you guys. So things to be aware of if you're interested in preparation. But we already got a glimpse in terms of what events are coming, as well as a sneak peek at potentially. My suspicion is that it's going to be Kate Bishop being officially added into a campaign farmable node. So we'll definitely dive down further and show you guys the details here. But let's get this party started. So first and foremost, in case you guys may or may not be aware, there is a raid event that's coming up, and I do believe it starts tomorrow. So this is the one that is showing right now. You may have already seen it from other content creators and the Reddit posts, but essentially this is going to be allowing us the opportunity to actually earn more army orb fragments, but as well as Hulkbuster and Deathlock shards specifically, as well as other items such as gold, training, gold and dark promotion, so forth. And how this event works, guys, is that you scroll down here, you're going to be going through the raids, and if you recall here, there are certain raid credits that you can actually take advantage of, and this is what's actually going to add to these points. And as you can see, it's actually right here, Raid of Fortune, scoring points towards its 5-day milestone, and it can only be added up with the raid credits. So if you guys are wrapping any of the Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 1 raids, save that right now in the inbox, because those credits, being able to claim that, it's going to earn and actually add to this milestone. And as well, you can also spend power cores, but I assume the power cores is likely going to be less point conversion ratio as opposed to the raid credits, just because there's a bigger bulk of it coming in. And with a 5-day event, hopefully this is reasonable for free to play. That's pretty much it right there, guys, for that specific raid event, and it should be coming soon. Finally, too, perhaps the announcement of the War Scourge event. So we got the glimpse here. We have the detailing information in regards to what Red Hulk can actually do already, as well as what he brings to the table. So we already knew about this in the patch, but what was officially confirmed now in this data mine is it's consistent. It's consistent what we've seen historically, which is that we can actually earn 3-star Red Hulk 425k points, or we can immediately unlock with the 500k in the milestone. So that's consistent what we've seen with Morgan Le Fay and consistent what we've seen with Rogue. So so far everything's lining up pretty good. We don't see any changes here. It's still Heroes, Asgardians, Ravagers Wave 1, which is what they've already confirmed as well. So I think difference being is that in tomorrow's blog post, they may actually finally give us the confirmation on what date it will be. Could be as soon as honestly next week, or even in a few days. Who knows? We'll see. Could be a couple of weeks, but I mean, they've been hyping this up for a while now, and this is kind of what we've already determined. We estimated middle of September, end of September to be the timeline of when the third Scourge will be, and so far everything's lining up perfectly. And we know it's not going to be longer term, like a month away, because we saw that the Rogue Apocalypse Saga is actually about a month time span. So it wouldn't make sense to put that one out at the same time. The War Scourge, they obviously want us to be focused on one thing at a time. But who knows? You never know, honestly, with the developers here, if they want to shake things up by adding everything at once. But personally, I think my opinion is that it's gonna be next week, and then or maybe perhaps the week after that. But it should be very soon. Everything's really getting hyped up here, especially with this new patch. So there, we'll get the confirmation there. And again, just some more dialogue here on repeating the post here about the Red Hulk. We'll scroll down a little bit more. The red stars for Red Hulk is already going to be added as well to the Elite Store. So that's consistent again, what we've already seen with the last two Legendary Horsemen. And this is one that I highly, highly recommend. But keep in mind, you might want to save on promoting it first, because as we go through the event and wait for the actual release of the awards, likely you'll probably end up, if you are able to hit that 500k 600k mark in points, I think that actually converts to either a 2 red, possibly a 3 red, depending on how far you reach in the leaderboards. So you might be able to save some credits there. So don't go ahead and promote just yet. I would wait for the conclusion of the Scourge event before you utilize these dark promotion credits, and generally that's best bang for your buck. Next up here, yeah, like I said earlier, this is just going through more dialogue in regards to earning the shards and red stars for Red Hulk here. Okay, and then as well as the offers coming out too. So yeah, obviously they're always going to want to promote this and maximize spending. Another thing too, some additional dialogue now finally on the Ethereal Arms event. So this is actually intended to reward Mystic rewards, and as well as Indestructible Pants, which is actually going to add to the month-long Hulk Hunter milestone event. So keep that in mind, guys. Mystic gear for Spider Weaver and Spider Verse shards. Again, the mutated cells and the indestructible pants. Now, what's interesting about this one is that they actually do give us a 5 red star of Spider-Man symbiote here. Not that he's a bad character by any means, but he really has fallen out of the meta. So interesting that they give us a red star here for the 5, which is pretty notable in terms of how strong that is. But you know, no one really uses them unless you still have a symbiote as part of a B team. Possibly you can use them later on in the Scourge with the Bile Nodes if you want to use them as a sack team and they can take down a couple enemies. But yeah, it looks like unfortunately some lost value there. If you're newer to the game, that actually might be worth the value to you, so that way it can help you progress a little further to the mid game. But unfortunately, Spider-Man symbiote is no longer used in the end game, so really more of a transitional character if you haven't unlocked. It's got a great kit, but unfortunately, just the stats and everything has fallen out quite out of the meta now, and not really much value right now. But I would still say if you have him early on in the game, can definitely assist you in the transition to the end game until you get the Web Warriors, of course. So really for this event, it's actually going to be scoring points towards a 7-day milestone by opening these Vigilant Orbs strictly from the Web of Life. So this is going to be tied back to the Web of Life event, which also unlocks Spider Weaver. And it's actually going to be a combination of things, including spending power cores, as well as blitzing, which is also going to be known as the Destined Connections milestone. Now keep in mind, guys, there's a lot of things going on right now. We're spending power cores and raid credits later on, you know, adding to that the raid milestone I touched on earlier, and now they're also going to have this Web of Life event. Good news is that the power cores will also help you get more shards of Spider Weaver, which is really good. But just be mindful of the power cores you're spending, because obviously I think this one's more important. But obviously the raid milestone was good for getting more additional shards of, you know, a key character such as Hulkbuster, right? So just make sure you budget that when you're making these decisions here. They really want us to pick and choose, and Spider Weaver is going to be a game-changing character, so I highly recommend saving as many power cores as you can, because not very often do we get such a powerful character unlocked, you know, through a very free-to-play friendly event such as this. So as you can see with the Destined Connections one, more blitzing. You know, this one's going to be repeating for a couple times with a 2-day milestone, and it's using the Vigilant trait characters, which by the way are going to be the same Vigilant characters that are actually needed for that Spider Weaver farming event. So keep that in mind. Have these characters ready to go. I'll make a separate video on that as well, just to outline, you know, which characters those would be and the best ones in terms of some use case synergies, so forth. And then lastly, guys, the War Drums post right here, just letting us know that, you know, everything's kind of coming together here. But what's notable here is the last point: which Young Avenger is moving to a campaign node. Now, we got dialogue before that, you know. We've already gotten Echo getting added into the supply store recently. Miss Marvel, America Chavez, Miles Morales, they're already all farmable in the game. So honestly, by deducing this, the only one that remains is actually Kate Bishop. So by process of elimination, I am hoping you guys, you know, I'm calling it now, but I have a good feeling that this would earn a lot of favor with the community if Kate Bishop is actually added into a campaign node. So fingers crossed that that's the case, because everything else already checks out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you agree with my assessment there. But I think I don't think it's too you know, out of the box to assume that, because I think we can use some favors here. And honestly speaking, it makes sense given how long she's already been out in the game, and the rest of her team is pretty much farmable. So there you guys have it, a sneak peek of tomorrow's blog post, but I'm glad we got this information beforehand. Now we can kind of anticipate and prepare for the weekend. More blitzing to go, you guys. You know, stay the course. You know, always try to do what you can, but remember, take breaks if you can, okay? Thank you as always, you guys. Do appreciate you checking my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.